They don't understand you, and maybe they never will. Not because you're broken, not because you're wrong, but because you see what they choose to ignore. You feel what they numb. You ask the questions they're too afraid to confront. And when you try to explain it, when you open your mouth to reveal the firestorm inside your mind, they look at you like you've lost your way. But what they don't realize is that you found it. You just walked a road most would never dare step foot on. There is a price to awareness. It does not come wrapped in applause or approval. It doesn't arrive with community or comfort. It comes with silence, with distance, with doubt. Because when you wake up in a world that chooses to sleep, you become the outsider, not by design, but by depth. Thomas Edison once said, "The value of an idea lies in the using of it." But what he didn't say, what they never teach you, is that the world resists new ideas until it has no choice but to accept them. And the man who brings those ideas forward, who sees the world not as it is, but as it could be, he is mocked, he is isolated, he is called mad, until he is called a genius. This is the curse of awareness. To see beyond the surface, to question what others accept, to feel deeper than most are willing to dive, to recognize the patterns beneath the chaos, and to realize that truth doesn't always come with company. You will watch as people chase shadows, worship noise, get high on approval and low on introspection. They'll call their distractions happiness. They'll call their masks confidence. They'll call your solitude loneliness, because they don't know the difference. But you do. You feel the heaviness of knowing. You see how the dots connect when others only see dots. You see the puppet strings while others clap for the show. And this is not arrogance. This is not ego. This is clarity. A rare, raw clarity that burns away illusions and leaves you naked with truth. And it hurts, because the crowd finds comfort in confusion. They like things blurry. It gives them permission to avoid, to delay, to pretend. But awareness demands responsibility. It demands evolution. It demands a higher standard that most people are not willing to live up to. And so, you walk alone. Abraham Lincoln walked alone. He bore the weight of a nation divided, saw past the hatred of his time, and carried a vision no one else could see clearly until decades later. He was misunderstood, hated, attacked, and yet he walked forward, because that's what vision does. It isolates before it elevates. Carnegie, Ford, Rockefeller, every man who saw ahead of his era, suffered ridicule before reverence. They were called fools for believing in possibilities that seemed impossible. But they believed anyway. They acted anyway. They endured anyway, because the pain of awareness was still better than the prison of ignorance. You see, there's a reason shallow waters are crowded. It's easy to swim when you can see the bottom, but deep waters, they're cold, dark, and lonely. Yet that's where the treasure lies. That's where truth is buried. That's where the soul awakens. So if you feel alone, if you feel like no one truly gets you, it's not because you're lost. It's because you're on the right path, and the right path is rarely crowded. The great minds weren't molded in echo chambers. They were forged in the silence of solitude. They were tested in the fires of rejection, and they emerged not bitter, but bolder. Because solitude doesn't mean suffering. It means transformation. You don't sit with your thoughts because you're weak. You sit with them because you're strong enough to face the truths others run from. You don't walk away from shallow conversations because you're arrogant. You walk away because your soul craves depth, and depth can't be found in empty noise. You don't question the status quo because you want to rebel. You question it because you know that growth lives on the other side of discomfort. So stop asking the world to understand what was only meant for you to see. Stop dimming your light just to fit into rooms built on darkness. Stop apologizing for being awake in a world that profits from sleep. Yes, awareness is a curse, but it's also the greatest gift you'll ever receive if you have the courage to carry it. Because with awareness comes power, with power comes purpose, and with purpose comes the ability to shape a life that's not just successful, but significant. And that's what separates the crowd from the creator.